Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tangerine Academy. Today's lesson is all about a super important question that I get all the time from my students. How do you practice your English in a way that actually works? Not just the same old advice like talk to yourself in the mirror or write your daily routine. No. We're going deeper today. I sat down with three of my students to hear their real experiences. What didn't work for them, and more importantly, what finally did. Each one shares a unique and modern technique that truly helped them improve. And you're going to learn a lot from what they went through. Plus, we'll highlight 7 powerful expressions and vocabulary words that can help you express yourself better in daily English. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because this conversation might be exactly what you need to take your English to the next level. Let's get started. Alright, class. Today, I want to do something different. Instead of me giving you tips, I want to hear from you. Let's be honest, we've all tried things that didn't work. I want you to share one method you tried to improve your English that didn't help, and then share the one that finally made the difference. Let's inspire each other. Alright, let's start with you, Alex. Thanks, teacher. Well, I used to force myself to read articles from big newspapers like the New York Times or The Guardian every morning. I thought it would help me get better at English, especially vocabulary. But honestly, it didn't work for me. The texts were too advanced. I didn't understand a lot of words, and I ended up feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. It wasn't enjoyable, and I stopped doing it after a few weeks. What finally helped me was something very different and unexpected. I started following English speaking Reddit communities that talk about topics I love, like gaming and movies. I know it sounds funny, but reading and responding to real comments, jokes, opinions, arguments, it made me feel I was part of the conversation. It wasn't perfect English, but it was authentic and relatable. I learned real phrases like, that movie totally flopped, or he nailed the role. Those are expressions I never saw in textbooks. Reading Reddit taught me how people actually talk, and it helped me write better too. Now I even comment and reply in English, and when someone answers me back, it feels like I'm really communicating. That gave me confidence. That's a great example, Alex. It shows that finding content that is engaging and contextualized makes a big difference. The phrase you use, I felt frustrated and overwhelmed, is something a lot of learners experience. But I love how you found a way to turn your interest into practice. Reddit is actually a fantastic tool if used wisely. Well done. Okay, now, Matio, it's your turn. Thank you. For me, At first, I was obsessed with vocabulary flashcards. I downloaded all the apps Anki, Quizlet, Memrise, you name it. I could study words like allocate, resilient, or comprehensive. But I realized something. I was learning words, not language. I couldn't use them naturally. I could forget the words after a few days because I didn't know how or when to use them. It felt empty. I was memorizing for the sake of memorizing. What finally helped me was creating what I call a personal English portfolio. Basically, I started collecting real sentences and short text from TV shows, YouTube interviews, and real conversations. Only things that I found interesting. I created a Google Doc and organized it by topics: health, love, work, emotions. I could copy the sentence, translate it, and then try to create a similar one that related to my life. For example, I learned the phrase to hit rock bottom from a documentary. It meant to reach your lowest point in life. That phrase spoke to me. I wrote, I hit rock bottom last year when I lost my job. That phrase stuck in my memory forever because it was connected to my life. I also started recording audio summaries of my week using some of those new phrases. Now I can talk about topics like burnout, failure, dreams, and motivation with more depth. Wow, that's brilliant. A personal English portfolio. I might start recommending that to other students. It's active learning and it's personal, so it sticks. I also love how you turned passive listening into a practical tool by reusing language in your own context. All right, now let's hear from Louis. Hi, everyone. So, my old method was kind of funny. I used to memorize scripts from movies. I could literally write down the scenes and act them out in front of a mirror. It made me feel cool, like an actor, but it didn't help much with real conversations. I knew lines, but not how to respond spontaneously. I felt like I was performing, not communicating. What really helped me improve was something my cousin told me. He lives in Australia. He said, why don't you join online communities that practice English through roleplay? At first, I didn't understand what he meant, but then I joined a Discord group where people meet in voice chat and pretend to be characters in different scenarios: business meetings, casual conversations, interviews, even fantasy role plays. It was amazing because I had to speak, not just repeat. I had to think, react, answer, and build the stories on the spot. For example, we had a session called Airport Roleplay. I had to act like a traveler with a problem, and another student was the airport staff. I had to explain my issue, ask for help, and stay calm. It taught me phrases like, I'd like to file a complaint, or there must be some misunderstanding. It felt scary at first, but that pressure to respond in real time made me improve quickly. Plus, it was fun and full of laughter. That's incredible, Luis. You touched on something very important. Language comes alive when you use it in real time situations. These roleplay groups are a fantastic way to build confidence and fluency. I especially liked the expressions you mentioned: file a complaint, some misunderstanding. Those are very useful in daily life. Alright, here are the 7 key expressions from the conversation, with meanings and examples to help you fully understand and use them. Number 1. Frustrated and overwhelmed. The meaning of this is feeling emotionally tired or hopeless because something is too difficult or confusing. For example, I felt frustrated and overwhelmed when I couldn't understand native speakers. Example number 2. She was overwhelmed by the amount of grammar she had to learn. Now repeat after me: frustrated and overwhelmed. Frustrated and overwhelmed. Number 2. Authentic and relatable. The meaning is something real and easy to connect with emotionally. For example, I prefer learning from authentic English, not textbooks. Example number 2. His story was so relatable. I felt the same when I moved to another country. Now repeat after me: authentic and relatable. Authentic and relatable. Number 3. To hit rock bottom. The meaning is to reach the lowest, most difficult point in a situation. For example, he hit rock bottom after losing his job and breaking up with his girlfriend. Example number 2. Sometimes hitting rock bottom helps us start over. Now repeat after me: to hit rock bottom. To hit rock bottom. Number 4. Personal English portfolio. The meaning is a custom collection of English phrases, notes, and reflections created by a learner. For example, I built a personal English portfolio with real life phrases from Netflix shows. Example number 2. Her English improved a lot thanks to her vocabulary notebook and portfolio. Now repeat after me: personal English portfolio. Personal English portfolio. Number 5. To file a complaint. The meaning is to officially report a problem, especially in services. For example, I filed a complaint because the hotel room was dirty. Example number 2. You can file a complaint at the customer service desk. Now, repeat after me: to file a complaint. to file a complaint. Number 6. There must be some misunderstanding. The meaning is a polite way to say that something is wrong or confused. For example, sorry, there must be some misunderstanding. I booked this room first. Example number 2. She thought I was angry, but there was just a misunderstanding. Now, repeat after me. There must be some misunderstanding. There must be some misunderstanding. Number 7. Pressure to respond in real time. The meaning is the challenge of thinking and speaking quickly during a conversation. For example, speaking with native speakers gives me pressure to respond in real time. Example number 2. That pressure helped me get more fluent and confident. Now, repeat after me. Pressure to respond in real time. Pressure to respond in real time. Well done! Now, shadowing section. Repeat each phrase after a short pause, trying to match the rhythm, pronunciation, and intonation. Do this 2 to 3 times for each sentence to train your mouth and ears in real English flow. I didn't understand a lot of words, and I ended up feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. It wasn't perfect English, but it was authentic and relatable. For example, I learned the phrase to hit rock bottom from a documentary. What finally helped me was creating what I call a personal English portfolio. It taught me phrases like, I'd like to file a complaint, or there must be some misunderstanding. It felt scary at first, but that pressure to respond in real time made me improve quickly. Excellent. Now you will answer 3 questions about the conversation. You will be given some seconds to answer the question, and then I will give you the answer. I recommend you to repeat the conversation part again before you go to this section. Remember, these questions are comprehension questions, and sometimes there is not an exact answer, but the main idea. Let's start. Question number 1. What method helped Alex improve his English? The answer is he started reading and replying to comments on Reddit communities about his interests. which helped him learn real and authentic English. Question number 2. What is a personal English portfolio and who created it? The answer is Matio created it. It's a document where he collects real life phrases and examples from English media, organizes them by topic, and practices them with personal sentences. Question number 3. Why did Louis prefer English roleplay groups? The answer is because they helped him practice spontaneous speaking and react in real time. It was fun and gave him real experience with natural conversation. So, now you've learned 3 creative and modern ways to practice English, and you've heard real stories from real students. Now it's your turn. What's one method that worked for you, or one that didn't? Write it in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. And don't forget to practice shadowing the dialogue and review the vocabulary. That's how you make English part of your life. Subscribe if you found this helpful. And remember, you don't need perfect English to communicate. You need real English used with confidence. See you in the next video.